Before proposing to my girlfriend, I tested her by telling her a lie. My parents disowned me from the family business, I'm now broke, and showed her my fake bank statements. She went silent, left, and broke up via text. Now, I am becoming the new millionaire CEO, and she desperate to reconcile. I'm 32 male, Logan, and not usually one for games, especially with people I care about. But with Amber 29F, something felt off. We'd been together for 2 years. I was thinking about a ring, a future, the whole deal. My family runs a pretty successful manufacturing company, and while I've always worked my ass off, I knew the family money perception was there. Amber always said it didn't matter, that she loved me. I wanted to believe it, needed to. So, about 3 months ago, I hatched a plan. It felt a bit scummy, I'll admit, but the doubt was eating at me. I had a designer friend mock up some legit-looking bank statements showing my accounts nearly drained, a few $100 left. I also got a new, cheap, prepaid phone. One evening, over dinner at my place, I cooked her favorite pasta. I laid it out. Amber, babe, I have something serious to tell you. Her eyes widened a bit. What is it, Logan? You look pale. I took a deep breath. There's been a massive issue with my family. My dad and I had a huge falling out over the future of the business. He basically told me I'm out, cut off, disowned. I let that hang in the air. What? Logan, no. What happened? She sounded genuinely shocked. It's complicated. The point is, they've pulled everything. My access to company funds, my trust, everything. I'm pretty much broke. I slid the fake bank statement across the table. This is what's left. She picked it up, her eyes scanning the dismal numbers. The silence stretched. It wasn't the sympathetic, we'll get through this silence I'd hoped for, deep down. It was calculating. I could almost see the gears turning. So, no more job at your family's company? She asked, her voice flat. Nope, I'll have to start from scratch. Find something new. And the apartment? Your car? Apartment's in my name, but I won't be able to afford it for long on my own. Car's a company lease, they'll take it back. She just nodded slowly, staring at the statement. Didn't meet my eye. The rest of the dinner was awkward. She was quiet, distant, kept saying she needed to process. The next morning, she was gone before I woke up. No note, just gone. Around noon, my regular phone buzzed. A text from Amber. Logan, I'm so sorry. I don't think I can do this. This is too much, I need stability, and this is, well, it's not what I signed up for. I wish you the best, but we're done. Please don't contact me. Just like that. 2 years, gone via text because she thought the money was gone. It hurt, more than I expected. But a cold part of me felt validated. My gut had been right. I texted back from my regular phone. Understood, thanks for your honesty. Then I blocked her number, deleted her pictures. It was a rough few days. A small, bitter part of me was almost relieved. Better to know now. Fast forward to this week. My dad has been grooming me to take over as CEO for years. The disownment story was a complete fabrication, a loyalty test. A harsh one maybe, but necessary for me. This Monday, the board officially announced my appointment as the new CEO. It hit the local business journals, a few online finance sites, a picture of me shaking my dad's hand, smiling. Update 1, the reemergence 2 weeks later. Wow. Okay, didn't expect this level of response. Thanks for all the comments, DMs. Good to know I'm not the only one who's seen this kind of thing. A lot of you are asking for details on what happened next. Buckle up. So the CEO announcement went public on a Monday. By Monday evening, after 3 months of silence from Amber's direction, the attempts began. First, an email landed in my work inbox. She'd never emailed me there before. Subject line, thinking of you. Then a few calls from unknown number to my cell, which I let go to voicemail. Curiosity got the better of me on one, and the hesitant voice was unmistakably hers. A text followed later that evening from a number I didn't recognize, clearly a new SIM or a burner. Logan? Oh my God, I just saw the news. CEO, that's amazing. Can we talk? Please? It's Amber. I ignored the text from the new number, the sheer audacity. Then another text from the new number. Logan, please. I know I messed up. I was scared and confused. I made a huge mistake. I still love you. Love. Funny how that word reappears when the perceived bank balance does. I didn't reply to that either. Just seeing her name, even from a new number, was irritating. Tuesday morning, more attempts. Calls from unknown again, and more texts from that new number, which I continued to ignore. Then, the email she'd sent to my work address the previous evening. I finally opened it. Subject: thinking of you, Logan. So proud. It was longer, more elaborate. How she'd been going through a lot when she broke up with me. How she'd never stopped loving me, but was overwhelmed by my fake news. How she realized immediately she'd made a mistake but was too ashamed to reach out. Blah, blah, blah. It was a masterclass in revisionist history. The entitlement started to creep in through the email. I know you must have been hurt, but I was hurting too. We had something so special, Logan. Don't throw it all away because of a misunderstanding. I'm sure your parents are thrilled for you. They always loved me. Maybe we could all have dinner to celebrate your new role? My parents loved her. They were polite. There's a difference. And the audacity to suggest a celebratory dinner as if she hadn't ghosted me when she thought I was penniless. Then her best friend Alexis chimed in. Alexis, who'd always been a bit of a social climber herself. She sent me a DM on Insta. I rarely check it, but a notification popped up. Alexis, Logan, hey, congrats on the CEO gig. Huge. Amber's a wreck, you know. She really loves you. She was just scared. You know how it is. Girls need security. You should really talk to her. She's a mess. Right? I replied to Alexis. Security is important. She made her choice based on what she thought was my security. I'm respecting that choice. Hope she finds the security she's looking for. Alexis left me on read. The kicker came on Thursday. A call from yet another number I didn't recognize. I almost ignored it, but answered on a whim. Hello? Logan? It's Marilyn, Amber's aunt. Oh great. The cavalry using burner phones now, are they? Or just passing their personal ones around? Hello, Marilyn. Logan, dear, I'm so glad I reached you. Amber is just beside herself. She told me about your wonderful news. CEO, my goodness, your father must be so proud. We're all proud. Her voice was all sweetness and light. Thank you, Marilyn. She's been so upset, Logan, about your little misunderstanding a few months ago. She was just so worried for you. And for her own future, you know? A young woman has to think about these things, but her heart has always been with you. My little misunderstanding, the one where I pretended to be broke and she dumped me via text. Marilyn, I said, keeping my voice even. Amber made it very clear at the time that my financial situation was a deal breaker for her. She ended our relationship because she believed I was broke. Now that she knows I'm not, she's had a change of heart. I appreciate you calling, but this is between Amber and me, and frankly, I'm not interested in revisiting her decision. There was a pause. The sweetness in her voice curdled a bit. Well, Logan, I think you're being a little harsh. She's a good girl. She deserves a chance to explain. She's admitted she made a mistake. Don't you believe in forgiveness? After 2 years together, surely you can find it in your heart to hear her out. She's even picked out a beautiful new dress, hoping you'd take her to that restaurant you both love to celebrate. The dress. The sheer, unadulterated entitlement. She's already planning the reconciliation tour. Marilyn, with all due respect, Amber wasn't interested in hearing me out when she thought I had nothing. She made a very clear, very quick decision. The only thing that's changed is her perception of my bank account. My feelings on the matter are based on her actions then, not her words now. I won't be taking her to dinner, or anywhere else. Well, I thought you were a better man than that, Logan. To hold a little mistake against her like this, she's suffering. Click. She hung up on me. Suffering. Right, I'm not even angry anymore. It's almost darkly amusing. The desperation is palpable. My dad called me yesterday. Son, just had a rather interesting call from a woman named Marilyn, rambling about her niece Amber and some dress. Said you were being unreasonable. You okay? I laughed. Yeah, Dad. Never better. Just dodging a gold-plated bullet. He chuckled. Attaboy. Some people, eh? This isn't over. I can feel it. People like Amber and her Aunt Marilyn don't give up when they see a 7-figure meal ticket walking away. They just try different angles. I've instructed my assistant to screen my calls more thoroughly and to not pass on any calls from unknown numbers or anyone connected to Amber. I also started blocking the new numbers as they came in, though it felt like whack-a-mole. This isn't about being cruel. It's about self-preservation. She showed me her true colors. I believe her. Update 2. The escalation and the payback, 1 month later. It's been another month and things definitely escalated, The quiet approach didn't work for Amber, so she and her crew, namely her aunt, Marilyn, and occasionally Alexis, though Alexis seems to be backing off a bit, ramped things up. It's been a masterclass in entitled audacity. But it also gave me the perfect opportunity for a very public, very satisfying dose of reality. First, the accidental run-ins started. Suddenly, Amber was at my coffee shop, my gym, even bumped into me outside my office building. Each time it was the same wide-eyed, "Oh Logan, fancy meeting you here," followed by a desperate plea to talk. I kept it polite, brief, and non-committal. "Sorry, Amber, busy," walked away. Each rejection just seemed to fuel her. Then came the social media offensive. Old pictures of us started resurfacing on her rarely used Instagram, tagged with #TBT and sickly sweet captions like, "Remember this magical day? At Logan Ashton CEO? Some memories never fade, #true love, second chances." My friends were sending me screenshots. It was cringy. I blocked her new profile on all platforms. She must have made a new one after I blocked her original one months ago, but the public nature of it was annoying. She was trying to create a narrative, paint herself as the heartbroken girlfriend longing for a reunion. Her aunt, Marilyn, took a different, more aggressive tack. She started leaving comments on my company's official social media posts. Benign stuff at first. So proud of what Logan is achieving, but then it got more pointed. On a post about a new community initiative, she wrote, "Wonderful to see Ashton Industries giving back. Logan was always so generous. I'm sure he'll be generous with those who stood by him through thick and thin." The implication was obvious. My PR team flagged it, and we just quietly deleted and blocked her. The absolute peak of their entitlement, the moment that really pushed me to take more decisive action, was the party. My company hosts an annual charity gala. It's a big deal. Lots of local media, business leaders, etc. It's been on the calendar for months. Guess who showed up, uninvited? Amber and Marilyn. Amber was wearing a new, very expensive-looking dress, probably the one her aunt mentioned. They somehow managed to schmooze their way past the initial check-in. Marilyn can be very persuasive when she turns on the charm with unsuspecting junior event staff. I was mid-conversation with a major client when I saw them across the room, making a beeline for me. Amber had tears in her eyes. Marilyn had a look of grim determination. "Logan," Amber exclaimed, loud enough to turn a few heads. "There you are. We've been looking all over for you." Before I could say anything, Marilyn jumped in, voice dripping with false concern. "Logan, darling, Amber has been so distraught. We just had to come. She needs to talk to you. Away from all this distraction." She gestured vaguely at the hundreds of guests. This was it. They were trying to force a public scene, banking on me not wanting to cause a fuss at my own company's event. I kept my voice low, calm. "Amber, Marilyn, you were not invited to this event." "Oh, don't be silly, Logan," Marilyn said, waving her hand dismissively. "Of course, we're welcome. We're practically family." Amber just stood there, looking vulnerable, tears now actually rolling down her cheeks. "Please, Logan, just 5 minutes. I made a terrible mistake. I love you. I was scared when you said you lost everything." And that was my opening, the one she served me on a silver platter. I looked around. A few people were subtly watching. "Good." "Scared, Amber?" I said, my voice still quiet but carrying. "Let's be clear about what happened. I told you I was broke. A complete lie, I admit, a test. And within 24 hours you ended our 2-year relationship via text message because you needed stability and my apparent lack of funds wasn't what you signed up for." "Those were your words, weren't they?" She paled. Marilyn opened her mouth, but I continued, looking directly at Amber. There was no concern for me, no offer to stick it out, no, we'll get through this. Just an immediate exit once the perceived money was gone. Now I'm CEO, the company's doing great, and suddenly you're here in a designer dress talking about true love and mistakes. The only mistake I see is you miscalculating my financial situation. Her jaw dropped. Marilyn looked like she was about to explode. "How dare you speak to my niece like that?" Marilyn hissed. "I'm speaking the truth, Marilyn," I replied, turning to her. "And you both need to leave. Now, you're trespassing at a private event." I caught the eye of our head of security, a stoic ex-military guy named Wayne, who'd been subtly drifting closer. I gave a small nod. "Logan, you can't do this," Amber wailed, grabbing my arm. I gently but firmly removed her hand. "Yes, I can. You made your choice based on cold hard cash, Amber. Now I'm making mine based on character. Wayne will show you out. Wayne stepped forward. Ma'am, if you'll come with me. Marilyn started to protest loudly. This is outrageous. We're guests. Logan, you'll regret this. But Wayne is very good at his job. He and another security guy calmly and quietly escorted a sputtering Marilyn and a now openly sobbing Amber towards the exit. It wasn't a dramatic, dragged-out scene, but it was undeniably public. People saw, people heard snippets. The buzz went through the room. The aftermath was clarifying. Several mutual acquaintances who'd been on the fence or swayed by Amber's victim narrative suddenly went quiet or even messaged me things like, "Heard what happened. Wow. Good for you." Alexis, Amber's BFF, actually sent me a one-word DM. Damn. I think even she was shocked by the sheer audacity of crashing the gala. Amber did manage one last text from that same new number she'd used before. You humiliated me. I hope you're happy. I really did love you once. I just screenshotted it, saved it with the others, and didn't reply. Blocked that number too, for good measure. What's the point? The best part? My dad, who witnessed the whole gala exchange from a distance, came over later, clapped me on the shoulder, and just said, "Couldn't have handled that better myself, son." Some people only understand consequences. He's right. I haven't heard from Amber or Marilyn since. The word around our social circle is that Amber is devastated, and Marilyn is furious about the disrespect. Good. Let them be. It's been a weird, draining few months. That initial hurt from her betrayal was real. But seeing her true nature, her sheer, unadulterated greed and entitlement, made it easier to close that door for good. There was no love there, not really. Just opportunism. I'm focusing on my new role, on the company, on genuine relationships with people who value me for me, not for a balance sheet. It feels good, clean. No dramatic Hollywood ending where she sees the error of her ways and changes. Entitled people rarely do. She's probably already scouting for her next target. But she won't be my problem anymore. And that's a win. Maybe I'll take a long vacation once things settle down at work. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere Amber, definitely.